This is just going to be a quick run through of the 3-hatch Muta build order as taught to me by Tai2. Not very good at talking while playing, so I might make a few mistakes, but you're never really going to get a good split when you do this because of that screen that pops up. So here I'm going to boost that drone, but in a normal game, well, I probably would do that in a normal game, but it's not really important to do it. It's much more important that you're actually building your workers on time than it is to optimize the efficiency of your mineral line. And sorry, I'll spam less because it's probably a lot. So you're just going to go up to 9 and make your Overlord. Just absolutely standard stuff. I'll try to discuss the timings in more specifics than you would find in your average 3-hatch Muta build order that you can find just anywhere on the internet. Because I think that's the most effective way to practice. When you click your Overlord, don't send it all the way like here to the corner. Send it to where you think the natural is going to be. That's very important because a lot of times you'll lose track of this Overlord and it'll just fly over a marine and die. So just drone up like you normally would. And then at 200 supply, or 200, not 200 supply, 200 minerals, send out that drone, set those 2 drones to mine, come out here, set this one to mine, and make your hatchery. I actually had a little bit more minerals than I normally would because of that drone boost. And then make another drone. So this 12th drone right here is going to build the hatchery. So rally your hatchery to wherever you plan on building your pool, and that drone will be the one that builds it. By now you can see if the Terran has an expansion there. So there's my pool, and now you're gonna drone up to 13. This is a good time to set your camera hotkeys to use for later. Oops, and I missed the drone already, so we'll see how this goes. One thing to note is that with this build, you should race to 1-to-1 hatch to drone saturation. So right here, actually I'll explain this later. At 240 supply, or 240 minerals, I don't know why I keep saying that, send out your drone to build your macro hatchery. Now, re-rally everything to your natural, and make your gas on 13 supply after 1 more drone. So you want to have 12 drones mining in here, in your main, because that means you'll have 9 on minerals and 3 on gas when this extractor finishes. Make drones here, and make 4 Zerglings just to be safe. At 16 supply, you're going to use your next Larva to make an Overlord. Make sure to mine your gas. You're going to be using your Zerglings to scout, and also to chase down the initial scout SCD. At 100 gas, get your Lair. Set drones to mine. And now in this whole period, you're just going to be making drones. So just 4 SD, 5 SD, 6 SD. That's how I hotkey my hatcheries. At 100 gas, get Zergling speed. And as soon as you get your Zergling speed, get your second gas. I was a little bit late there, but that's very important. So notice how I've got 9 drones mining minerals in the main, and now I've got 7 at the natural. So all I need to do is saturate this extractor, and anything else I can get out is a bonus. Oops, I accidentally made 2 Overlords there, so I'm going to cancel that. It's actually fine because when the Lair finishes, I'll get 1 extra Larva. So as the Lair finishes, you want to actually just do as I said, make drones out of your 4th hatchery, because you'll get an extra one when the Lair finishes. So if you have 3 just sitting there, that's not ideal. So I drone up to 30. My Spire's on the way, and now from here on out, I'm just gonna make supply of Zerglings up to 35. This is a really safe way to play. And now since I'm oversaturated in my natural, I'm gonna send a few more to my main, just so we're not heavily oversaturating the natural. Now, we make 1 Overlord from each hatchery. This is very important. If you make all 3 at 1 hatchery, you're gonna be in trouble. Now let's pretend we saw the Terran here. Around 510 to 540, you want to poke in and see what kind of units he's got. If he's only got Marines, it's very likely that he's going for a +1 5-Rax build. If you see Comsats or Medics, it's probably 2-Rax Academy. Now at this time, send out a drone to your favorite expansion. And if they're going 5-Rax, you can afford to take your base now. If they're going 2-Rax, you're gonna have to place 2 Sunken Colonies before you take your expansion. So I make my 9 Mutas and immediately Hydra Den. Make my 11th and 12th Muta, or sorry, 10th and 11th Mutas with this money. And now I want 1 more Overlord. This is very important. If you don't miss this, if you don't get that Overlord, you will supply block yourself. So now normally you'd be mutamicroing here, but I'm just going to show you the base to show exactly what you should be doing. As soon as you have the money, Queen's Nest. So I was actually 1 Muta short because of that flub with the Overlord earlier. Immediately as soon as the Hydra Den is done and you have the money, Lurker Aspect, take this base. Now the next thing you're going to spend your money on, you're going to rally your 5th hatchery, or your 3rd hatchery. Well, I guess that's your natural. Excuse me for my language. But you send you rally it to your ramp of your 3rd base, and you're going to send 3 Hydralisks there. With these hatcheries, make either drones or Zerglings with an extra 2 Hydralisks, which will be morphed into Lurkers for defense. Now, as soon as your Queen's Nest is done, get your Hive. I got it at 7:35, which is actually a really good time. Anything before 7:45, and you're pretty much golden. But I wouldn't have been able to drone this freely in a normal game. Get an Evolution Chamber after your Hive. So now you can see my Hydralisk Den. My Lurker Aspect is almost done. Just make anything you can with your Larva. Drones, Zerglings, doesn't matter. I actually Overlord blocked myself, which is really bad, so I'm gonna pretend like I've lost some units, which I definitely would have at this point, because it's me playing. So now my Lurker Aspect is done. Morph 1 Lurker on the ramp. You can actually morph 2 on the ramp. And morph your other ones. Morph the Lurkers back at your main. Now, if you want to play really safe, you actually want to get Carapace upgrade with this. You want to make extra Hydralisks so that you'll have more Lurkers. Notice how my money is low, even though I'm not really using all of my Larva efficiently. If you were using your Larva efficiently, you'd be even farther ahead at this point. Now, Hive is done. Immediately Defiler Mound in your main, Nydus Canal at your natural. At your 3rd base, remember to make drones. I was actually really slow to do so. Burrow these. Keep them above the ramp. If you have an Overlord over here, put your Overlord over, which makes it harder to irradiate. Now, usually, if you know where their bio is, it's safe to just send your drones across the map in the time before the Nydus Canal is complete. Make extra Lurkers for defense. Now, keep in mind, I'm not mutamicroing during any of this, so to do this build properly, you need to actually continue to Muta Micro while you do this, and that's what makes this build so challenging. You're doing a lot of different things while doing stuff back at home. And you just gotta keep on top of it as much as you can. As soon as Defiler Mound is complete, get consumed. I have a little bit of extra minerals, so I'm gonna add an extra hatchery at my 6th base. Alright. I'm using it based on what hotkeys I'm using. I apologize for that. Don't Overlord block yourself like I'm doing. And that's basically it.